What's up, everybody? I just posted my Supergirl review the other day, and surprise, surprise, I'm not a big fan of the movie. That movie needed to be so much more. This was the second movie in the DCU, and that's what you gave us. You gave us. Go check out my review if you haven't seen it. But what I found out just recently makes the situation even worse. It makes you look at James Gunn, Craig Gillespie, Anna Nogueira. It makes you look at these creatives, the heads, the people that are the driving creative forces behind the DCU. It makes you look at them and go, what? Why are you here? What is going on here? Why are you making the decisions that you're making? It just makes you look at them like they're incompetent, like they don't know what fans want. It's like they don't have good taste themselves. They don't know what makes a good superhero movie. So there's a couple things I want to look into today. So let's start out with this. The final song in the final fight of the movie, the climactic moment. This song should have been it should have tied everything together, yet we got some cheesy sounding out of place song. So first off, everybody's been clowning Craig Gillespie, the director of the movie, saying, "What in the world is this, man? What kind of music choice is this? Why would you're James Gunn wannabe trying to pick like music for your movie, and it was just horrible. It was just so out of place. It makes absolutely no sense." Turns out Craig wasn't the one that chose the music. Let's read this right here. The question was, tell me about the big slow-mo action scene scored by a slow-paced version of Jimmy Eat World's The Middle with female vocals by Kelty Gray and Kid Motel. How did we end up with that particular song choice? That's what everybody wants to know. How did we pick literally the worst song for the climactic scene of the movie? Nogueira says, it went round and round, didn't it? There were a lot of options. Gillespie says, that was probably the biggest discussion. They had a massive discussion on choosing the song, and this is what they ended up with? Who chose this song? And it was down to the very last week, and I gotta give James credit for that one. So James Gunn, after a long, big discussion, after going through about 45 different songs, he decided on that song. James Gunn approved that song. That's the song James Gunn wanted for the climactic battle sequence in Supergirl. That's what he wanted. That's what he thought was good. Not only that, he thought the entire movie was good. Remember, he signs off on every single script in the DCU. Nothing moves forward until James Gunn signs off on it, until the script is ready. He thought this movie was ready. He thought Supergirl was a good movie. This is the co-head of the DCU. This is the creative co-head of the DCU signing off on Supergirl. He hired Anna Nogueira with absolutely no experience in film. She had never written a screenplay for a film before. This was her first gig in Hollywood for a film. And he gave her Supergirl, Teen Titans, and Wonder Woman. Now imagine Wonder Woman getting this Supergirl treatment. Yeah, no thank you, man. No thank you. Those are pivotal movies in the DCU. Is the DCU dead? Is this the downfall of the DCU right here? I mean, if you have a strong argument if you believe that. And there are a lot of people making that case. There are a lot of people saying this is the downfall. This is the beginning of the end. And I mean, I see a lot of people saying, you can't say that. This is only the second movie. You can't just write off the entire DCU. You can't call it quits. You can't call for the end of the DCU, the firing of James Gunn after just two movies. That's not fair. You see, what these people are failing to realize is it's not just two movies. This is not just two fumbles, all right? I like Superman. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. I liked Superman. The only issue is, if we continue, I don't want James Gunn directing Superman 2. Unfortunately, he's doing Man of Tomorrow. The only issue is, and it's a massive issue, Superman is not Superman yet. Yeah, James Gunn captured the heart of the character, unlike a certain Zack Snyder with the DCEU. This Superman is still immature. 3 years in, he's still not Superman yet. So we need to see a major evolution with the character in Man of Tomorrow. Do I believe James Gunn can pull that off? No, I don't. But we'll wait and see. Hopefully he does. With that said, Superman was still a divisive movie, and it didn't perform the way we wanted it to perform fiscally. A lot of fans did not like that movie, even though it was like half and half. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Now we're going with Supergirl, and it is universally disliked. But see, that's not the only thing. We got to think of the whole context of DC and movies. We were coming off of the DCEU, a failed universe. That was an absolute mess. We had Zack Snyder's vision for these characters. We didn't get to see Superman be Superman. We didn't get to see Flash be Flash. We didn't get to see Aquaman be Aquaman. I mean, come on. Martian Manhunter was not in the Justice League. I mean, come on, So we had a failed DCEU. It was, I mean, come on. That's the whole reason why we did this whole reboot to begin with. That the DCEU failed, so we started over with the DCU. Number one, it wasn't a clean reboot. You were carrying things over. That's messy. Number two, because we're coming off of a failed DCEU, already people were ready to throw in the towel, give up. Fans I'm talking about were ready to give up on DC because Marvel was doing so well, and DC was trying to rush to compete Marvel and completely fumbled the bag and, made a mess of themselves. Fans were tired of giving DC a chance. It was subpar movie after subpar movie after subpar movie. And when James Gunn was hired and the DC Gods and Monsters slate was announced, fans were like, all right, I'm going to give DC one more chance. Superman comes out. If Superman doesn't get at least an 8 out of 10, if Superman is not a successful movie, that's it. Frick this. I'm done. We're out. DC, I'm not even checking for it anymore. It's over. Superman comes out. It's divisive. Some people check out. Some people don't. Fans are still willing to give DC a chance. Still willing to give DC a chance. And they come out with Supergirl. You got to look at the whole picture. It's not just saying, "Hey, two movies, they fumble. The second one was a fumble, was a flop. You can't give up yet." No, this has been over a decade long of failure. All right, you got to look at the whole context. And on top of that, the entire DC slate that James Gunn came out with. Where's the Authority? Where's Waller? Where's Swamp Thing? Where's what's the dude's name? The freaking golden guy from the future, Booster Gold. Where is he? You know what I mean? It's and why are we having a Sergeant Rock movie? Why are we even thinking about the Authority movie? I'm glad that thing got canned because it makes absolutely no sense. Why are you having the Authority before you have the Justice League? Give a knockoff Justice League before Justice League. Creative decisions already at the onset were questionable. All right, so. This is not the first flop. There have been multiple questionable decisions, multiple things that make fans go, all right, what are you guys doing? This is your one chance to get this right, and this is what you're doing? You're giving me a Sergeant Rock movie? You're giving me a Clayface movie with no Batman? You're giving me the Authority movie? What? Who is this multicolored, like, freaking bald-headed guy in the movie? Who is this metamorpho? I'd never heard about him. Who is Mr. Terrific? I have no freaking clue who that guy is. Who are all these weird, obscure characters in my Superman movie? I've been waiting for so long to get a proper solo Superman movie, and you're shoehorning in all these random D-list characters. What's going on here? Granted, again, I said I like the movie, but there's so many things wrong about the DCU. It's not just, you can't just look at Supergirl in isolation and say Supergirl is a flop and that's why people are giving up. No, there's an over decades worth of mishaps that have led up to this moment where fans are like, finally, yeah, I gave you guys way too many chances. I'm done. I'm out of here. I give up. Now, if you want to know my thoughts on Supergirl, I'll post my review down in the description. I'll put in the link, the pinned comment as well if you want to check it out. But just real quickly, the whole entire motivating factor behind Krem, behind the villains, they're this all male patriarchal society, the only an all male race. Yet you can't survive without women, so you have to go and kidnap women because you depend on women for your entire species. How are you an all-male race then at that point? You're just pathetic. And that entire subplot is pathetic. It's dumb. It makes no sense. And the fact that it's the entire driving force behind the villains. The villain was trash, by the way. It was the entire driving force behind the villain, and the motivation was only like 1 or 2 lines in the entire movie. I mean, whoever edited the movie realized it was a pathetic thing, and they decided to cut it. I mean, how do you give Anna Nogueira Supergirl, first off, with no experience in film? How do you give her Supergirl, then Teen Titans, then Wonder Woman? James Gunn did that. He signed off on the script. He signed off on Anna Nogueira, gave her 3 massive blockbuster movies in the DCU, makes absolutely no sense. And it's not just like we have one bad cog in the machine. It's James Gunn making bad decisions. Anna Nogueira, not enough experience. The writing in that movie was trash. Craig Gillespie, the direction in that movie was trash. The performances in the movie were trash. I mean, not trash, but up subpar. I've seen those actors act better, and I blame that on Craig Gillespie. There were directorial decisions in that movie where I'm like, just like, why? Makes no sense. Everybody involved, I mean, at least Anna Nogueira, Craig Gillespie, and James Gunn, nowhere near at the level that this needs to be at. Here is a wonderful example of this. Here's a question from the interviewer. This is pathetic. Okay. The final battle, this is sad. This is just sad. The final battle sees an emotional breakthrough for Kara and Ruthie, but also a very final moment for Krem. It also leads us to what we're going to see for Supergirl when she joins Superman in Man of Tomorrow. How did you go about crafting the ending? And this is Anna Nogueira responding. The ending between Kara and Krem was always in it. From the pitch, truly from the very beginning. Because the comic ends with Ruthie killing him, but in the far, far future. I haven't read the comic book, but I did some research, I checked up on this. That's not what happened in the comic book. That's not what happened in the comic book. That means here, proof. This is from the writer of the comic book, Tom King, saying this in an interview in March 2024. This is not supposed to be ambiguous, the ending of the movie. He's supposed to be alive at the end. That's why he grabs his head. Ruthie does not forgive him, still hates him, bops him on the head, and walks away. Tom King, the writer of the comic book, says Krem is not dead at the end, yet somehow Anna Nogueira believes that Krem is dead, that Ruthie kills Krem. So number one, she didn't read either. She didn't read the comic book. Number two, she read the comic book and couldn't comprehend it. Which one is worse? You tell me. Not doing research when you're in charge of a multi-million-dollar blockbuster movie in a budding cinematic universe for one of the biggest franchises on the face of the earth, or you just can't comprehend a comic book. I mean, like, come on. Either one of those is horrible. And here's the thing. James Gunn read the script. Where is it? The ending was there from the pitch. It was from the beginning. That ending was there from the very beginning. So number one, Anna Nogueira didn't comprehend it or didn't realize it, didn't read the comic book. Two, James Gunn didn't either. He read it. He signed off on the script. So he didn't read Woman of Tomorrow, or he just didn't comprehend the comic book. I don't know what it is. Either way, it's just incompetence on all fronts. Nobody read it. Nobody understood what was going on in the comic book. Craig, Anna, James, what's going on here? Did you guys not understand what you were adapting? What you were trying to do? Do you guys not understand the character of Supergirl? Do you guys not understand the genre of superheroes? What a superhero is supposed to be in a body? It makes no sense. It's somewhere else in this article. I don't know where it is. Craig Gillespie said he likes having women throw up and use the bathroom in his movies, because it humanizes them. It's raw. It brings a character down to earth. Since when do I need to see a character throw up and drunk and use the bathroom for me to feel like they're a real human being and be able to relate to them? What? Like, yeah, man, I don't know about the future of the DCU. I mean, it's one good thing about the DCU is thankfully James Gunn made this decision, because this stuff has been trash, right? Thankfully, he said not all movies are going to have the same tone. And if different movies have different tones, you're going to attract different people to be involved with the DCU. And we're going to get a movie, and you'll get projects like Clayface. First off, number one, I have no clue why Clayface is being made. Why are we getting a solo Batman villain before Batman at all? Makes no sense to me. But at least I think that movie is going to be good. Green Lanterns, the HBO series, I think that's going to be good. All right. If we were going with a unanimous tone, an even tone, like with the Snyderverse, with the MCU, if we're going with a continuous even tone throughout all projects headed by James Gunn, I would not be happy because I don't like James Gunn's tone, and I don't want the entire DCU to have that tone, right? So at least there are issues with having different tones in different movies and stuff, but in this particular case, because James Gunn's at the head of the DCU, it's a blessing in disguise, because we're going to have breaks from the from the mess. Yeah, man. By the way things are going, I don't know how we're gonna have a cohesive cinematic universe, DC cinematic universe, and have it tell a proper story, have the characters be portrayed the way we want them to be portrayed. Right now, I don't see that to be. I don't see it. It seems like DC is making the same mistake they did before, just in the complete opposite direction. You're giving a director free reign to do whatever he wants. You did that with Zack Snyder. Now you're doing that with James Gunn. You have to don't put the writers and directors first. Put the characters first. If you don't know what these characters are supposed to be, read up on them, because they're your property. You're investing millions and millions and millions of dollars into these characters. You can understand them, understand your audience, understand what fans want. Don't just trust people that you hired to get the job done. I mean, I get it. You're not gonna be able to put your have your hands in on everything, and we don't want that because too many cooks in the kitchen is not a good thing. But get your act together, man. You're making the same mistakes again and again and again. Over 10 years you've been doing this. So, man, that's my thoughts on all of this. Supergirl was an absolute mess. The DCU is an absolute mess. Speaking of DCU, I might as well just talk about this right now. This is the latest in Batman news. Tom Brittney is supposedly confirmed to play Batman. The title says, "Who is Tom Brittney, the DCU's latest viral confirmed Batman?" This is the only viral confirmed Batman that I've seen. Every other Batman actor that's been thrown their hat in the ring has been rumored to be in the running to play Batman. This is the first one that I've seen that's viral. That's confirmed Batman, and he wouldn't surprise me if he gets the role. Why? Tom Brittney was in the running for Superman. He's been in the running to play Superman for a while. He's been in conversations with the DC for a while. So I can definitely see that they would go with him because they're familiar with him. But just going off of this picture, just look at pictures of him, there are better choices out there than Tom Brittney that I've seen so far. But we might do a separate video on it and look into it a little bit more. But I thought I'd just throw that in there. So yeah, man, let me know your thoughts on the DCU. Let me know your thoughts on Supergirl, the future of what's to come with the DCU, James Gunn, all of that stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you guys think about all of this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.